all of your relationships improve, go deeper, grow, get better, or at least get more real so you can see what you're really dealing with when alcohol is not involved. All of our relationships get better when we are present for them and clear-minded. And I'm curious what y'all think. Here's the reality. They're not always easier right out of the gate. I can tell you that when I first stopped drinking and changed my relationship with alcohol, it was actually very disruptive to my relationships. But ultimately, it makes everything better because God works with what's real. I believe when we bring him all of our parts and the reality, then the real work can be done. So I just wanted to say that I'm not sitting here saying that everything gets easier. Sometimes it's harder at the beginning and then easier as you go because you are more skilled to deal with the feels. I would say for me, my relationship with God probably was the first relationship that grew the most first. You know what I'm saying? Like that relationship that I have with our Creator. And again, you're totally fine here if you've got a different worldview or have a different spiritual lens. But as a Christian, for me, it was so life-giving to me to finally hand God all the parts of me and just go, here, I can't hold on to it anymore. I'm trying to kind of like invite God into my life, except for this one area of drinking. And I kind of tucked it away like, you can have everything else, but just don't take that. Come on. Don't take that away. That's like my one thing, my one reward. It just felt like a weight was lifted off of me when I took off the heaviness of trying to hold on to this relationship that I had with alcohol that was oftentimes getting in the way. I had the keys the whole time, but I really had to look at it square in the eyes and go, you know what? I really can't let this go by myself. I really do need your help, God. And the Lord was just gracious. And I think when I was ready, he had always been ready, patiently waiting for me to partner with him. So that's where it really started for me, was before I could even work on relationships with myself, other people. I really had to work on that spiritual aspect because that's so important to me and really the bedrock, the foundation of my life. And I was living a very divided life. I was one person by day and I felt like another person by night. It's like I checked out of my authentic self and I just didn't know how to stay present. And it was definitely affecting my relationships. But most of all, it was affecting my relationship with God. Again, not because he moved or he changed, but because he didn't have all of me. He had just the parts of me that I wanted him to have access to. The second relationship that changed the most and probably was the most impactful to me was, wait for it, my relationship with myself. I know it sounds crazy, right? We often neglect the fact that we have a relationship with ourselves. In fact, it's the most important relationship because everywhere we go, there we are. And when you're driving in your car alone, when you're waking up at 3 a.m. alone, if you've got that detox to retox cycle still going and you've got that 3 a.m. wake up call, you know what I'm talking about. Those are the times when you really realize, wait a minute, it's me. And I've got to look at parts of myself and be willing to lean into the uncomfortable. My relationship with me had to change because first off, I couldn't eject out of my own life because every time I was using alcohol to alter my current reality or the way I was feeling, I was literally ejecting out of my own life, oftentimes, slowly and subtly. It wasn't like, oh, let me just eject and go into just complete overkill. But it was almost like, okay, I'm just going to start to turn down the volume of my real, authentic, genuine intuition self and just start letting the alcohol just kind of wipe it away. And that's when I would lose my presence and I would lose my ability to feel the feels. Because oftentimes, y'all, and I mean, you tell me if you agree or if you've had this situation as well. That's why I was drinking. Some of us drink to remember. Some of us drink to forget. Some of us drink to not feel it all. But every time I did that, it was subtly abandoning myself. I had to not only learn how to feel the feels and not eject out of my own life, but I also had to rebuild trust with myself. The next relationship that I really feel like changed the most, besides my relationship with God, number one, my relationship with me, number two, was my relationship with my family. Okay, so let's really keep it real here. When I really first looked at this whole concept of being sober-minded, which means to be awake, alert, aware, and present in our own life, that's what I needed to do with my family as well. They weren't getting all of me. They weren't getting the best of me. They were getting parts of me, but they weren't getting all of me. Because again, I wasn't getting all of me and God wasn't getting all of me either. Alcohol had taken a little piece away from me that took my presence away. And when we lose our presence, we've really lost who we are, because it is our presence that counts. That's what matters, is your presence over performance, your presence over perfection. But just your presence alone is enough. And that's a big message. Easier said than believed, I know. But our presence is enough. And when we rob ourselves or the world of that, you're not only missing out, but other people are too. But my relationships with my family changed when alcohol was scooted to the side and the honesty came in. And the honesty was, first off, I had to own the fact that drinking had become a little bit too big in my life. Again, no big rock bottom, nothing bad happened, but it was too big in my life. I valued it too much and I was doing it on autopilot. In fact, I was doing it very purposely sometimes when I did want to eject out of my own life. So I had to own that. I had to own that with my family. And I think they really appreciated the ownership and the honesty. And you know what it did? Is as my adult children have gotten older, they're mid-20s now. We have a much more honest relationship because they know mom, that's me, they know mom is not going to hide things from them, and I'm not going to posture in front of my kids anymore, or at least I'm going to try not to. Sometimes we can still do that, right? We can slip into old habits, but I'm not going to posture and totally act like nothing is wrong when something's really bothering me inside. I feel like honesty is like the bedrock of a real relationship. So again, I had to be honest with God first, then I had to be honest with me, and then I could be honest with other people. And what I found when I was honest with my family is they were actually really understanding. I believe that you can change your relationship with drinking at any time for any reason. And I know I'm speaking to a lot of people that would not maybe go in through the doors of a church, or certainly go down to the basement of that church and go to an AA meeting. So I'm trying to meet you somewhere in the middle, trying to meet you outside of the church and not in an AA meeting. And again, both of those places are great and both places can help people. But I'm trying to reach out right here, right now, as a real life mom, as a real life wife, as just a real life person, living it over here. And again, struggling and just trying to struggle. I wanted to invite you to join our Sober Sis community. If you have not already, you can actually sign up right now. If you go to sobersis.com/21-day challenge, and we're going to be talking through the very things that I'm talking about here. How to socialize, how to get along with your family, how to feel the feels, how to not eject out of your own life when it gets overwhelming, or you're overthinking, or you're just over it. You're over it. You're over the heat. You're over the pressure. You're over the chaos in this world. You're over it. How do you stay? How do you remain? How do you abide? That's what we're talking about in the 21-day reset. How do you change your relationship with alcohol so you feel back in the driver's seat and you're no longer being jerked around by this elixir, this liquid that has its grip in you and you want out. You want it off. You want that grip off. And that's what I do, is I help women take a break from drinking so that you can decide if or how alcohol fits back in your life, if it does at all. Many women I work with sign up to do the 21-day reset challenge and then decide, hey, I'm not signing up to never drink again. No, I'm just signing up to take a break. But then they feel so good after 21 days, they end up wanting to practice a little longer. And so I have next steps even after the 21 days where you can really build an alcohol-free lifestyle for yourself, where alcohol becomes so small, it just loses its value. And now I can have what I want. I can drink what I want when I want. I've heard others say this in the alcohol-free community. And it's absolutely the most freeing feeling because it's not about rules, it's about tools. It is. I'm not here just to give you a bunch of rules to live by. I'm here to give you tools that work. I can guarantee you, you will never regret not drinking the next day. And that's a powerful statement. Think about it. You will not regret not drinking the next day. I've never woken up and thought, darn it, I wished I would have. I've always woken up and thought, oh my gosh, another night alcohol-free, especially at the beginning. So anyway, y'all are awesome. Leave a comment below, but definitely like this video, share this video, and let me know what's resonating with you below, because I really can't wait to hear how your relationships, all of them, with God, yourself, other people, have gotten better since maybe you've set alcohol aside.